What's up? Hey everyone, it's Dan with Moyer and Sons, and today we're changing things up just a little bit. I have Scottie here from Pitts Elite Contracting, one of Frederick and Montgomery County's hidden gems when it comes to general contracting. Today we have a little bit of a fun situation going on. I'm going to build a Amazon bought bookcase while Scottie puts together a
mid-century modern bookcase custom for somebody out there.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. I've known this man for over 25 years. All that's going to come up, and during the building, I'm going to ask him a lot of questions, not about general contracting, but also about life. So here we are at Moyer and Sons. You can hear the trucks behind us. We're ready to go. Okay, so to start with all this, I'm in no way a carpenter or general contractor. I've got a box I'm going to rip open and start putting together a shelf with instructions, my best. Scottie here is getting ready to go. So we're going to start putting together these bookshelves right now. In the process, we're doing a quick interview here and there. My first question to Scottie is, over a decade ago, when you were, a bouncer at Last Mango's and you're trying to figure out Last Mango's, you all you remember that, and it's a great place for like that week. For all those people that saw him bounce, how did you go from being a bouncer to being a general contractor? I'm starting to open my box.
So I started my carpentry days at 19 years old when most people were at college. I pretended to be at Montgomery College. I was going, but I was also leaving. But the fact of the matter is I started construction because I was good at it, and it paid the bills. And I always had an affinity to putting things back together, not necessarily breaking them. But the interest from starting construction was very early on in my life. And I knew at 19, 20, 21 that I was stuck in a loop. So I really like it. I like what happens when you put things together and how they look when it's done. What about you, Gumby?
Well, I just want to show the difference. You see how this wood looks like that? This wood is, what's 1 by?
Yeah, it's 1 by 10.
1 by 10 particle board. I can smell the particle board right now. So this is what I'm going to deal with. I make any mistakes, and I'm donating this to the dumpster.
Fresh from Malaysia.
Yeah, so I'm super excited.
This isn't really quality wood. This is, for a furniture piece, something somebody could do in their garage. This white wood, it's just pine, but it works well with the new style of the Chip and Joanna look, the rustic style, because you can do a lot with this knotty stuff. So it's not necessarily paint grade, but certainly better than that grade.
Jump in with questions. Next thing, quick to Scottie. You, over the last 10 years, you've seen a lot of changes, and I apologize for the truck in the background. You've seen a lot of changes in style. What has been your go-to style, and where do you see the styles changing in the future?
My go-to style is technically whatever the customers like. I don't try to inflict my design prowess until it's very important. I certainly wouldn't let you paint remember like in 2005 they were painting the one Merlot wall in your dining room?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen anymore. So even if you really love Burgundy, Merlot, whatever color, Cabernet, 2005 is gone. We're getting into the next trend. So for the most part, I try to stay as trendy as possible. It's very important to stay relevant, because if I was stuck in 2005, I don't think anybody would be hiring me. But 10 years ago to now, my favorite trend is taking all these houses in the DC metro area and opening them up. Everything is compartmentalized. All of our families are growing, so houses need to grow, and knocking down walls. That's my favorite thing to do.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you what kind of bookshelf I'm going to build, because the name doesn't matter, because I'm going to make it bad, because I'm really bad at this. But that's what it's going to look like, hopefully. I've got some things over here. He's using real nails. I've got bad screws, and it's also, give or take, about 95 degrees outside. So, sorry about the hair. So, I'm not sure if everyone's aware, but over the last few years, we've had a couple things pop up. HGTV, Chip and Joanna, all coming up with these amazing ideas. Scottie, have you ever heard of shiplap? Yeah. Of course you have. Everyone has. They've changed the face of what people want every single day in their homes. They want high quality. The prices are always kind of told you what it is. These reality TV shows, how real are they? And the time frame it takes to do them, sometimes 1 week, 1 day. Is that real? Coming from a general contractor, what has that done to you and your business?
Oh man, I call that everything now with social media and TV. I call it the instant gratification client base now. That's the generation we're in. And it doesn't matter if you're in 20s, 40s, or 60s. Everybody sees 30-minute show and gets the extreme makeover, and they think that we can do a basement in real life. When in fact, there's permits, inspections, drawings. You're depending on subcontractors. And the reality is on those shows, everybody's going to bring their A++ game, and not that we don't bring our A++ game, but there's something called life, and it's certainly not reflected in reality shows. But what reality shows do is inspire. So we can take what's on reality shows and show you what we can do with your budget, not some CBS or HDTV or any type of inflated budget. Those people get sponsored by the big boys. Nobody's sponsoring your job except for you. So I'd expect you to have a moderate budget for a standard project in the DC metro area. And hopefully in the future we can get sponsored. But at this time, all that stuff is not reality.
He's about to cut, and then I'm going to ask another question, so let him go.
Let's start that back over. Safety, safety, safety.
Over the years, Pitts Elite Contracting fixed my personal home so I could sell it in a record amount of time. I was super happy with that. They've done most of the work here at Moyer and Sons Moving and Storage. Every project that I've ever seen Scottie do has been absolutely stunning and amazing. I highly recommend him, Pitts Elite Contracting, for any job that you can have coming in the future. Harry homeowner, want to take a look and figure out what I already screwed up. Front, 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 oops. So now I have to redo a whole thing. Scottie's right now working on the second shelf. I can't even get one shelf of a plywood thing done with directions. Crazy. So, currently a little bit ahead of Scottie. Time was an issue. I was really going to make this happen where it was going to be who could make this faster. But I realized people love me. I'm just saying, it happens all the time. Look at this face. So I say, why make this a speed competition? Because I've been to a restaurant and you ever sat down and wondered, man, my food got here way too fast. But there's no way they made that food that quickly. That's what being carpenter's like. I can make this shelf in 30, 40 minutes. It's not going to take him longer to make his. That's a real made up. If I order a steak and it's out 10 minutes or less, I'm worried about that steak. I'm worried about the shelf for obvious reasons. Scottie's shelf, look at it. It's coming along beautifully. I've already screwed up mine twice, and I'm about to start using a hammer on it. Be worried for me. 40 minutes later, I had the bookshelf done. Bookshelf's, as you can tell, very stable, very heavy, very well crafted by me. Very excited about it. It's a piece. Let's be honest about this. This is a $40 bookshelf with shipping, and it'll suffice in need be. Scottie's currently working on his third tier, which we'll see in a second. I don't want to give it away. Scottie, I've known you for well over 2 decades. In that time, I thought you were a pretty smart guy. But why in God's name did you marry into the Moyer family?
Is that a real question? Well,
That's a real question.
The answer is I could have unlimited lifetime moves. No, that was the long game. The short game is I grew up in Montgomery County, grew up in Germantown, and met most of the Moyer family very on in my life, and you know they're an attractive bunch all around. So I got one of the low-lying fruit, and to be honest, unity in, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like when Game of Thrones, when you take two families and you put them together, one strong family. So, long story short, wanted to be like one big power family, like the Kardashians. No.
Okay, now that I know that Scottie has an affinity for the Kardashians, which is very scary, still a show I've never seen. I know, I'm way behind in my times. You can hear Scottie getting nails into the thing right now, on the shelf right now. General contracting keeps changing over and over again. Where is the future of general contracting in the next year to 5 years, especially with all the changes that have recently occurred?
That's a very fantastic question, and this is some research that I started doing, education I started doing last year. Growing in place, aging in place, universal design, so that when you buy these houses and mortgage your life, you can finish your life off there. And I think the future of general contracting is taking your home and making it your forever home. So aging in place, we're looking at 40 million baby boomers. And as funny as all the millennials want to be and say, okay, boomer, the fact of the matter is they're a driving force in this market. So they're going to continue to be a driving force over the next few decades, just as millennials are, and they're going to bring their own flavor. But I would say the first thing would be aging in place, growing from within. And the second is technology. We're seeing where 15 years ago, quartz was fairly unheard of. And granite was the really, really nice product, the expensive stuff. Now quartz is the mainstay. We don't do a lot of laminate or Corian anymore. Quartz is the number 1, 2, and 3 asked for hard surfaces. How did we get there? It's a man-made product, and technology has allowed us to cultivate materials a little bit from the earth and take some new innovative materials, blend them together, melt them down, make them hard, and provide designer tops that the earth can't give us. So I would say technology certainly would take general contracting in the right direction. Help us improve the systems, the tools, helps educate not just the customer, but also the contractors themselves. So that's where I think contracting is going, hopefully.
So we battled Moyer trucks coming through where we were working, 90+ degree heat. I think with the humidity it's almost 100. And we built 2 comparable bookshelves. One comparable bookshelf. So if you can tell, $30 bookshelf, a bookshelf done by a professional. Postmodern, classic, something someone can walk into your house and say, who did that, where did that come from? A little stain on this, it'd be perfect. You gotta leave it out for a couple days so it dries. Imagine this through your whole house. Perfection, amazingness, and the exact taste that you want. That's Pitts Elite Contracting. Scottie, anything you want to end off with?
Yeah, I mean, if I was just to stay in this realm of furniture building or furniture assembly, because Dan didn't technically craft it. This mid-century modern piece is just one genre in a whole bunch of different design features of construction. And it's something that I like to embrace. We've mentioned a couple times the HGTV realm. They're pushing one genre, that rustic farmhouse. But it takes somebody that does a lot of research and has been in the game for a while to understand and broaden people's horizons. So the Scandinavian-esque type of IKEA build, that fits some places, and it has a home, and that's why they exist. But doing like a mid-century or a postmodern or rustic farmhouse, having the ability to vacillate between the genres is probably one feature that most people really like about myself. And I like to try to bring as much of the design part of construction than 2x4s and nails, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of DIY people that can do comparable work, but they're staying in one vein. So I know it just looks like a bunch of white pine and with some stain and some TLC and some putty. This could be a fixture in somebody's home, and that's ultimately my goal. Is I come to your home and I build or construct or recreate a corner of your house or your entire house, and you can come home and be proud of it for a long time. So hopefully somebody will be proud of this little piece. It was my first driveway build, if you may, but I'm down for any challenge. So I appreciate Moyer and Sons. I appreciate Dan for sure, and Andres and everybody out there. So I'm looking out for anybody who needs consultation for construction.
Thank you, Pitts Elite Contracting. Thank you, Moyer and Sons. And here we are, changing things up a little bit.